I'm going to prepare Panthers fans for something real quick. This Super Bowl is almost certainly going to be an advertisement for how good Christian McCaffery is right now. For the guy that you used to have on your team and traded away and didn't even get a first-round pick back. It is almost guaranteed to be a multi-hour advertisement for how good that guy is. And just think about how much that'll cost. What is 30 seconds in the Super Bowl is like $7 or $8 million right now as far as a price. So, a couple of offensive drives dedicated to Christian McCaffery, you're looking at like, I don't know, $300-400 million in advertisements for how good Christian McCaffery is. This is how much he's expected to be showcased. He is the betting favorite to score a touchdown in the game. They're like the number one most likely to score a touchdown in the game. His odds to score 2 touchdowns when I checked this morning are about the same as the odds that George Kittle has to score 1. Christian McCaffery is going to be featured. And if you're a Panthers fan, just prepare to kind of look the other way.
That kind of surprises me. I would think Travis Kelce would be kind of the favorite to score the first touchdown or any touchdown, really.
Christian McCaffery this year has been one of the most prolific touchdown scorers as far as consistency that we've ever seen in the NFL. The Chiefs' defense is really good, which you may say like, oh, wait a second, that works against him. Actually, I think it works towards him being even more featured. Steve Spagnuolo, who is the defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, and has them playing as good of defensive football as anyone has played in Kansas City under Andy Reid. So the Andy Reid era, Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes, all these offenses, they've never had a defense like the Chiefs have this year. Spagnuolo brings the heat. He is a guy that does not mind bringing pressure. And it's going to be a war of wits. It's Kyle Shanahan on one side. It's Spags on the other side. Shanny and Spags. And they're going to be going at it. And guess what's going to happen a ton? Shanahan is going to try to guess when the heat is coming, and it's going to be a screen to a bubble. It's going to be something to Christian McCaffery. Misdirection to Christian McCaffery. Run the ball with Christian McCaffery. And that means Panther fans are going to have just so many opportunities to go, you're telling me that guy was in Charlotte. And he was under contract for a bunch more years. And they sent him away for not even a first-round pick, and the answer is going to be yes. And then the next drive is going to come up, and the same thing is going to happen, and you're going to have the same conversation 4 or 5 times. Also, if you're the Niners, what scares you most out of the Chiefs? The number one thing coming into this game of the Chiefs that scares you? Probably Patrick Mahomes, right? Probably the guy who's a 2-time MVP. Probably the guy who's the highest paid player in the game, meaning in the Super Bowl. Probably that guy, right? Well, how do you defend that? You keep him off the field. How do you do that? You run the ball. Who do you do that with? Christian McCaffery. And guess what else they know? There's no next week, right? You don't have to save him for anything. There's no, we don't want to burn him out. We don't want to give him too many carries. It's, hey, if it takes 35 touches for Christian McCaffery to win a Super Bowl, you do it, and he will do it with a smile. If it means 25 carries to Christian McCaffery to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, you do it.
Empty the tank.
Why
not?
Yeah, it's the equivalent of baseball, right? When you start bringing starters out of the bullpen because you're like, we don't have to save them for their next start in the rotation, right? Randy Johnson, you're closing this one out. That's just what you do. So just be prepared, right? Be prepared to watch Christian McCaffery be the belle of the ball for the San Francisco 49ers. And be prepared to answer the question over and over and over again of why did we let him leave? And there's not going to be a good answer. There's not going to be, I'm seeing quite a bit of the Patrick Mahomes pick, right? Because Patrick Mahomes is a big player in this one, was traded to the Chiefs by the Bills. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, the Bills, how did they do this? But then it's always softened but in that trade, the picks they got by trading the pick, they got 3 Pro Bowlers, and they eventually got Josh Allen, so they have something to stand on. The Panthers don't have something to stand on. right? It's not, we traded away Christian McCaffery, but at least we used one of those picks on blah, blah, blah. The blah, blah, blah is not enough. That placeholder is not good enough. So I suggest this. Watch the Super Bowl amongst friends. Watch the Super Bowl amongst people that care for your well-being mentally. If you are a diehard Panthers fan, I should say. Don't go somewhere where they want to rub it in. I have one of my good buddies. I actually just officiated his wedding this past summer. One of my good buddies is a diehard Steelers fan. When the Steelers lost to the Packers in the Super Bowl, we were in college, and I think there were 2 or 3 people he didn't talk to for like a month, because they were rubbing it in as it happened. Don't watch the game with those people. If you know someone's going to be twisting the knife in that form or fashion, don't do it. Don't watch it with Keegan Michael Key. Did you watch the NFL Honors last night?
I did.
After the Canes game, I went back and had it recorded and started watching NFL Honors. Keegan Michael Key, the guy from Key and Peele, he threw a shot at the Panthers, right? He said, Taylor Swift is in Tokyo. That's complete on the other side of the world. The only people further away from the Super Bowl are the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I do.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It played in the room, got some groans, got some laughs. Don't watch the Super Bowl with Keegan Michael Key. Or whoever is the Keegan Michael Key in your life, right? Don't watch the Super Bowl with the person that's going to be out to get you. If I were you, and you really are hurt by Christian McCaffery leaving the Panthers, heck, right now you have to drive to Virginia. You won't have to starting March 11th, but I might put a couple shekels, a couple doubloons, a little bit of money on some of the over props for Christian McCaffery. That way if he scores, twice, that way if he runs for 100, that way if he receives for 75 or whatever the numbers are, instead of you being regretful and angry, you're happy because your bank account's going up.
And whatever you do, don't wear your old Carolina Panthers Christian McCaffery jersey to your Super Bowl party.
Just because that's going to open you up to ridicule and hate?
I'd say so. Maybe not hate, but
well, actually,
a certain sadness.
Yeah, it would. If you do that, you're saying you're strong enough to take the heat. You're just saying, hey, I want him to win because he once was one of us. But expect jokes.